take this potion or this powder or eat these foods. There was a time when they told me, okay, no meat products and you can only eat these 5 foods. And I did what they said because I realized when you're following after God, Yah Almighty, our Creator, if you do half of the instructions, you've disobeyed. If you do 90% of it, you've disobeyed. If you do 99% of it, you've disobeyed. So everybody that came, I put my faith out there and said, whatever you send my way, Father, I'm going to follow it. And I did what they said. Some of the things did not work. Some of them made me worse. But guess what? He was there always to catch me, hold my hand, and tell me, this is why you had to experience this one, so that when you get on the other side of this and you talk to other women, whether they be doctors, whether they be lay people, you can tell them, don't take this, don't do this. This is why you can't do this particular thing, because I lived it. So this was my introduction into infallible proofs. Like we know that our sweet Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, has infallible proofs because he obeyed everything that God the Father told him to do. So it was a place where I was forced to my knees. I prayed more than I ever did. I heard more than I ever did. I tried more of his plants and beverages and herbs, and learned more in this little body, which was my clinical trial place. But I came out on the other side, and now I'm in a place where I am so grateful for being drawn that close to him. Now, I'm not saying at any point in time did God send sickness or disease, because he did. Christ took it away on the cross. But he will allow things to happen. And then what we do with it, you get to prove whether for God I live, for God I die, as my sister brought out the Ruth and the Esthers. If you hear that calling and that nudge from God, are you going to follow? Or are you going to say, well, that's too uncomfortable, or gee, I don't want to fast that long, and I think I should just go ahead and get the biopsy and go ahead and get the chemo. And I'm not saying anybody who does that did something wrong, but this was my answer to Vera's question. I went deep because I said, either I will live by the hand of God teaching me what to do to this body, or I will die in faith. And that's the only place that I live from now. So I'll share more of my story later, but that was the thing that got me to the place where I am now. And I'm so grateful, because now this wonderful book that he has helped me pen has a 100% success rate in reversing any type of cancer that comes through the door, no matter what stage, no matter what type, as long as the person is willing to obey and detox body, soul, and spirit. It is my joy to be here with you all.
I'm Dr. Michael Vincent. I'm a chiropractor. I'm from Flint, Michigan, the place of the Flint water crisis. I teach a program that I just created called Epigenetics Wellness Coach. I started teaching that program after COVID-19, after seeing the people getting the vaccinations all of a sudden showing up with cancer, showing up with diabetes and hypertension, seeing the people who thought they were doing the correct thing, because my doctor said, do it. And my goal is to teach people that the body can heal itself. Not as doctors. The body can heal itself. If you cut yourself, the body will mend it. Break a bone and mends it. And I shared with Vera earlier today that the Lord showed me that, asked me a question, how many doctors ever told you how to lifetime do this surgery called Epigenetics Wellness Coaches? Then we allow people that their body can heal itself. We got folks on this Zoom right now that had diabetes for 6.5 years, blood sugar 400 to 600 for 6.5 years, taking 2 metformins, then lowered, added 2 more pills to called glucose to the regimen, taking 4 pills per day, then lowered, And that isn't to that, then, Lord. Just imagine taking everything they make for diabetes, 6.5 years, and your blood sugar level is still 400 to 600 every day. Then all of a sudden, they're ready to cut your legs off. That's what happens, folks. It's bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. And when she learned our epigenetics protocol, I met her on a Wednesday, taking 5 medications, 2 glucophages, 2 metformins, and 1 insulin shot on a Wednesday. On Thursday morning, her blood sugar that was 400 to 600, 6.5 years, went down to 89, and she became non-diabetic overnight. My hope and goal is to show people this technique on the network that I was offered, called the XOD network, that goes into 2.8 billion households, our own network households. I'm going to start by doing what? Teaching a class on diabetic neuropathy. The lady I just talked about, I'm going to cut her leg off. The day I met her folks at the library, they had to take out a suicide note to kill herself. She was depressed, cut my legs off. I've done everything I'm asked to do now. Blood sugar still the same, not going down, taking the medications, now my legs coming off. Due to neuropathy, due to diabetes. I'm going to teach a class, folks, this weekend, put on that worldwide platform that goes to 2.8 billion households, that we got people out of wheelchairs, out of walkers, folks, in minutes with that condition. We go put it on the network, folks, for sale for $1.44. Just imagine reversing your neuropathy in your legs, save your legs $1.44. We got folks on the Zoom right now that are becoming wellness coaches who are going to teach you pain from head to toe for $5 on that site. COVID-19 going overnight, $5 on that site. So I'm excited, folks, to be on this platform, because why? I'm sick of having people call me being sick. I'm tired of it. When modern medicine say you're diabetic for life, God said, no, you're not. When modern medicine says this cancer stage 4, you got 90 days to live. I paused for a minute because about a year ago, I'm at a health food store in Detroit, and a lady tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Aren't you Dr. Vincent?" "Yes, ma'am. I came to you in 2003. They gave me 90 days to live. This was last year. I don't heal nobody. I don't treat nobody. We just coaches. We epigenetic wellness coaches, folks. And hopefully Vera and I can talk more about what she's saying us to do with our protocol. Thank you, folks, for listening."
Greetings, Vera Giles Norris. I want to publicly thank you for putting together this summit and say thank you. Thank you for so many who don't know what has gone into what you are doing. I want to follow your lead and go ahead and give you what my experience for Wise Women Winning, this too shall pass. However, I need to alter it just a minor bit. This too has passed. For the last 10 years, I had some trials and tribulations as it related to the demise of my mom in 2012, February 14th. Some recognize that as Valentine's Day, a day of love. My mother transitioned. Before that, however, my mother was, my parents were divorced in my last year of high school. And my mother didn't go back to school until after the children had graduated from high school, gone through college. My sister was almost retired from the military before my mom had a stroke in 1998. I spent a majority majority of my time taking care of my mother, because I had gone to Miami, Florida, relocated to Miami, Florida, and I commuted back and forth from Miami, Florida to Detroit, Michigan from 1998 till I was actually detailed permanently in 2004. Every weekend almost, I was commuting. When my mom transitioned in 2012, shortly after that, my fiance, the man that was everything to me, Anthony Johnson. Anthony transitioned in May of 2013. After Anthony transitioned in 2013, and just briefly about him, he was amazing. We were on the path of putting together the largest empire. We were in the process of doing so much. And he flew for Delta, so we had plans to go around the world. We didn't get a chance to do those things. So quite naturally, when that happened in 2013, immediately after 2012, that was devastating to me. That was May of 2013, but then in September of 2013, my younger sister fell and broke her hip. So I continued caregiving responsibility until she transitioned in 2019. So from 1998 to 2019, I was in caregiver mode. It took a long time to get through a lot of that, but I have come through. So that too has passed. And I wake up each day with fire and gratitude and happiness and joy, jubilance, and I'm just so happy to be here now. It gives me such joy to go forward doing the things that I love to do. And the majority of that is tied to the League of Indian Nations. That is the League of Indian Nations of North American National Government. I am so happy. I explained how I became a chief earlier, and it means the world to me to travel across the country, taking care of member nationals, filing briefs and actions if they need to be filed in federal court, speaking to the sheriffs across the country. Some people say, you're the only person I know that gets excited about speaking to sheriffs. So, and I do. So that's one of the things. I wanted to make a quick correction. Earlier I mentioned that it was my paternal grandfather that told me I was Blackfeet. It was actually my maternal grandfather that when I was about 4 years old, he said, it was 5 actually, that he said, you're Blackfeet. And I didn't know what that meant. Looked down at my feet, saw that they weren't black, and, just laughed and went on my merry way. But when I looked up at his face, I saw the look on his face, and that look never escaped me. So I'm just going to go ahead and end there for right now. I know you just wanted us to give a brief introduction about what an experience that we had. And I just want to say it has passed, and life is beautiful, beautiful. I yield.
Okay, so you know what? Our next speaker, Brother Dixon, are you available to speak? If not, I'm going to go ahead and backtrack and go to Sister Enos and then to Denise. So, Brother Dixon, are you there? Okay, so no worries. I do know that we may have a delay, but guess what, you all? We're live on YouTube as we speak, so I wasn't able to be live here on Clubhouse and have the replays on, but we are live on YouTube as well. And I just want to take a pause right now to again thank each and every one of you all for being here. It has been an amazing weekend, and we're just getting started. It's the Wise Women Winning 2022 Summit, and our topic, our theme is "This Too Shall Pass." For some of you all that's there in the audience today, if it's something that you're struggling with and you don't know how, when, or where it's going to pass for you, I could assure you that if you keep living, it's a word that says, be not weary in well doing, for you will reap in due season if you faint not. if you keep living, if you keep breathing, if you don't throw the towel in, I could assure you, I can guarantee you that this too shall pass. I remember, as Chief Kamala was saying, when I lost my mother and we were going through fighting cancer, battling it day after day after day after day. I didn't think that I was going to get through, you all. I didn't think that my strength was going to be enough. But I'm here today as my mother, Ruthie Marie Giles, may she rest in paradise. I'm here to tell you that weeping may endure for a night, joy comes in the morning. And if you keep on breathing, be not weary in the well doing. Don't throw the towel in. It will pass. You will see light at the end of your tunnel. And I know that there are people here today, you're battling with sickness, you're battling with death, you're battling with broken relationships, you're battling with your children, you're battling with whatever you're battling with. You're in this room at the right time, for the right reason, in the right season. It's the Wise Women Winning 2022 Summit. This too shall pass. I have Denise on stage with us today. Denise, if you could give us an idea of who you are and what you do, just briefly, because we're going to go ahead and get on with the program. But Denise, can you unmute your mic and let us know who you are and give us a brief about your... Oh, you're okay. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna back. Go ahead. The floor is yours, sir. Go ahead and just make it brief because we're going to get started. You all.
Okay, no problem. Just briefly, my name is O'Dane. I'm from the DMV area, and I had a wonderful conversation with Vera the other day, she wanted me to speak a little about my understanding of my connection with women, and I always told her, I told her I've always been raised by the village, in which is the village has always been a lot of women, and I'm just a stippler for healing. So I'm an avid researcher in different ways to seek healing. And to seek different forms of healing. And I go down to like the nitty gritty of different things. I lost my father. We talking about parents. I'm grateful to still have my mother here. But there were two people that happened that I lost that was very dear to me in my life. And those situations had caused me to look deeper into healing, because, anyone that is close to you, in the sense of hereditary or things that deals with the family, I tried to seek a little further. I'm like, so my father, he had passed from a heart issue, so I kind of always started like, let me make sure I have a good heart, a kind heart, trying to also involve others into caring and loving themselves and also their own heart. And then one of the nearest and dearest people to me was my grandmother, who actually was the midwife that delivered me when I was born in Jamaica. She had me even research even deeper, because the things that she had lost her to Parkinson's and diabetes and different things that were just ailments to I would say melanated people, because one of the things that I had learned about Parkinson's is related to a certain part of the brain. It's the stagnia nigra, which is a portion of which relates to melanin, and when it's overused, it's our control center, or it's our reward and control center. So I started to when things like that occur, I just do avid research and try to connect, because I'm a synchronist. So I try to relate everything to one another. So I study flowers, stones, different times of the year that we can actually take advantage of, particularly men and women, but same sense of the world is operates and goes around women. So this summit, to say this too shall pass, because it's going to give the ability for things to happen for women to get to the stages they need to be. So I'm going to leave it from there, and hopefully if you need more questions, I will add on to it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again. Miss Denise, I know you're new to Clubhouse, so welcome here. And if you could kind of unmute your mic and just tell us a little bit about you. You're on the bottom right side of your cell phone is how you unmute your mic. Denise, can you hear me? So if you tap the little mic on the bottom right hand side of your cell phone or whatever device you're on, I'm not even sure, but it's the bottom right. In the meantime, I see you moved yourself back to the audience. No worries. I'm gonna bring you back up. In the meantime, while we're doing that, Miss Enos, are you there? Shabazz, are you able to speak? I know she has an event going on, so she may not be able to speak. So I tell you what, you all, this is what I'm going to do because we were kind of stalling for time, but now our device, we're recording, so I'm ready to give our first speaker an opportunity to speak and tell her reason for being here, as well as to share with you her vision and what she's going to do. It's I call it the bow effect. And I'm so excited to be partnered with this young lady, as I know that we will have an opportunity to travel around the globe and really, really help empower women. We're calling it staycation, where you can have the time of your life right in your own backyard. Miss Darlene, are you able to speak today and give us between 3 to 5 minutes to tell us about the bow effect and what your vision is for that, please?
Yes. I'm glad to be here, Vera. So the bow effect is like a daycation. I started it last year where we went on a little a day trip, a girls trip. The bus, we ate at a 5-star restaurant and we went shopping. So the bow effect is just, it stands for beauty, opulence, and wisdom. So that's a little bit about our plans. I like to travel, so I wanted to integrate what I like to do, and along with helping other women, just wine and dine themselves and relax and just enjoy life.
Okay. And you know what? And Darlene, I just wanted to, because I got excited as I was just thinking about it. One of our first events is going to be held here in July. I don't have the exact dates. I know we're shooting for July. But when I say it's an amazing event, it's where you get a chance to take some time out for yourself, women. We cater to everyone else. We have to sometimes, go from breastfeeding children to breastfeeding our husbands, to breastfeeding our jobs, to, taking care of the community, to doing everything for every other person, human being, animals as well, except for ourselves. And now with this opportunity, you have a chance to really pour into yourself. So when we say staycation, we're talking about 5-star restaurants. We're talking about shopping. We're talking about even the sponsors that's connected to us. They're going to pour in your gift baskets and gift bags alone will literally have you crying. We're going to go out and connect with nature. I'm talking about, when was the last time you had a chance to hug or talk to a tree? We're going to talk to trees. We're going to listen to birds. And then we're going to have an opportunity to go out into an open field and scream, cry, do whatever it is, whatever you're holding on to. We're going to make sure that you release it. We're going to have makeovers. When I tell you amazing, and I'm only giving you just a little bit of it. I'm only giving you a little icing off of the cake. So when we send information and talk about the bow effect, and you're invited to sit in and to come and join us on that staycation, this is something that you don't want to miss. Now, I want to bring, I want to take a pause for the calls real fast because I see Leslie is here. Leslie, if you could, here you go. Let me bring you up. I'm going to invite you up, Miss Leslie Brown. We're going to have a couple. We're going to allow her to do what she do. On yesterday, Leslie came to the stage, and when I tell you, this young lady sang, and when she sang, I think the birds just paused for a minute just to hear her sing. Leslie, I see that you're in the room. I'm going to take a pause just so that we can kind of restructure the room. But before I restructure the room, we have a little over 40 people that's here now. I want you all to do me a favor. I want you to share this room. I want you to go where you see the arrow. I want you to click on the arrow. And I want you to share this room, share it in your clubhouse space, and tell people to get in this room. Because again, this is Wise Women Winning. We're going to bless some people today. And I don't want you to miss your opportunity to bless some people today. So again, I see we only have 8 people that have shared the room. I'm asking you all to do me this one favor. And I'm not going to even let us start until we at least get 15 shares in this room. So go ahead and click on the link. There we go. I see we have 9. Click on the link and you can share the clubhouse, or you can share it to your Facebook page and just say something about this room and share it in these clubhouse streets. Share it on your social media platform. So again, we only got 9, and I know we can get at least 15 people that will share. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share it on Clubhouse, and I'm saying amazing room. Something sweet and simple. We got 11. And then I'm just looking for a few more people that will share this. We want to get to 15. So where y'all at? Where y'all at? There we go. We got 13. Thank you. I see you guys are sharing. Let's get some more people in here. Let's share this room out. We got 2 more and we're going to get started, you all. And the reason I'm asking you to share is I believe that we're just one person away from our biggest breakthrough. You don't even know who that one person might be. But what if that one person come into this room and their lives is changed just because you did something as simple as share a clubhouse room? Just share. We need one more person, you all. One more share so we can have our 15. There we go. We're there. So, Leslie, I'm going to have you open your mic and give us a little song so that we can get started. I'm changing you guys because we were a little bit off track. Well, we're on track, but I'm going to let Leslie sing, and then we're just going to get right on to our next speaker. Leslie, can you unmute and give us a little something? And the way that you unmute is at the bottom of your cell phone device, the bottom right-hand corner. It is, there you go.
Okay. Hey everyone, it's truly a blessing to be here today, this evening. I just wanted to sing something and just encourage all of you guys to trust God and just allow Him to be the foundation of your life. There's something about the name Jesus. Something about the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. Oh, it is the sweetest name. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. Oh, how I love it is the sweetest name I know. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. Amen. May you guys have a wonderful, blessed day.
All right. Thank you for that. So again, I am going to our next speaker, and we have on our next speaker, I'm going to go right to Dr. Goodman. Dr. Goodman, I want you to unmute yourself, and you have the next 15 minutes, Dr. Goodman, to talk to our people about who you are, what you have discovered, and why are you here today to make sure that the people that's on this platform that's listening get the message. Ladies and gentlemen, I will encourage you to take notes. This information, and it's a full version from yesterday on my YouTube channel. It's Vera Giles Norris, The Cat's Out Show. And take notes. Dr. Goodman, please go ahead. The floor is yours. You have 15 minutes.
Thank you so much, Vera, and thank you, everyone. And first and foremost, thanks to Yah Almighty for getting us to this place. We thank Him. There are people who didn't wake up, people who just didn't make it, but we're here, and we're born for such time as this to change this magnificent world that we're living in right now. As I mentioned, I'm C.J. Goodman, M.D. I'm a licensed physician. I've been practicing medicine since 1992. I went to undergraduate school at Cornell University. My medical school was the University of Medicine and Dentistry. My residency was done in the South Bronx at Bronx Lebanon Hospital Center. I had an older sister in Christ who was a certified nurse midwife who had me come train at her hospital so that I could learn midwifery at the same time that I was learning obstetrics and gynecology. That was my introduction into holistic medicine. I was not interested, truth be told, because as I said, I'm Ivy League educated, and they taught us that our education, thousands and thousands of dollars, was worth more than anyone who was using mud, spit, and herbs could ever do. So I went in, but I was obedient to my sister. And what I noticed was we had the same patient population, women before, during, and after pregnancy. And her patients consistently got better faster than mine. So I, recognizing and being a woman of science, I said to her, sis, okay, so how much spit are you adding to that particular type of thing that you're using, and what kind of mud do I need to use in order to help my patients get better faster too? And when she taught me, I added those things into my patient population, and they started getting better, lower complications, and everything was well in the world. Now, fast forward, I moved on to New Mexico, went into solo practice. She moved on to Seattle, Washington, became a naturopathic doctor, but we stayed in contact with one another, sharing information from the holistic world and the conventional world between the two of us. Our patient population stayed basically neck and neck. Fast forward again, in 1998, I found some lumps in my breast. And as I was taking the normal amount of time for denial to not go through a biopsy, I stepped back and did some research to find out, well, what's happening in my practice, because what I saw was that there were more and more women that were coming through with uterine fibroids, tumors, cancers, ovarian cysts, breast lumps, breast masses. And when I got in contact with colleagues, the same thing was happening in the male reproductive organs. The thing that I found was back in the day, maybe the 70s, 80s, number one, they stopped rotating the crops. The government was paying them to stop allowing the land to rotate to get different nutrients. So the food was becoming nutrient poor. That was one of the things that happened. Another thing that happened back in the 70s, 80s, they started introducing these nice little plastic bottles. And these plastic bottles, unbeknownst to them at the time, had plastic that was leaching into the acidic water that they were putting in there. Now, it would be okay if you just drank the water and it passed out. It wasn't an issue, but it doesn't. When those estrogens, xenoestrogens from the plastic get into your system, they stay and they go right to your reproductive organs, and they cause breast cysts, breast lumps, uterine fibroids, cancers, tumors, same thing in the men. So the plastic is not benign. It actually goes into your body and stimulates your reproductive systems in an abnormal way. The other thing that they started doing in the 70s and 80s is introducing steroids, growth hormones, fertility hormones to the fish, the cow, the chicken, the pigs, everything, in order to make them grow bigger and fatter faster. But the thing that they didn't take into account is if somebody who's a full-grown man eats one of those burgers that has an undisclosed amount of infertility hormones, or fertility hormones rather, in them, it's going to cause the prostate, the penis, the testicles to grow, but it's going to be abnormal. So they started having abnormalities that go right along with the increase of the steroids and the fertility drugs that they were putting in. Same thing with the women. If you've got a full-grown woman, she's made her 2 breasts, her 2 ovaries, her uterus, and you give her an undisclosed amount of fertility hormones in the chicken that she's eating, say from Church's Chicken, because most of us recognize 20 years ago you could look at Church's Chicken, it looked like a chicken. Today, it looks like a giant pterodactyl. That thing is huge because it was given growth hormones. When a woman eats that, it goes straight to the breast, the uterus, and it causes things to grow. And again, you can see an upsweep in the tumors that started happening around the same time that you see an upsweep in these hormones that are going in. The other thing that happened around that same time was the microwaves started being introduced. And they didn't want us to connect the dots where we know that a radiation bomb was dropped on Japan. And only two things happened with them with that increase of radiation. One, they died. And two, those who survived got a cancer or some kind of abnormalities and mutations. But they didn't want us to connect the dots when they said, here's a microwave, it's going to radiate your food, put your food in there, and then eat that. But we can tell if you don't eat that food very quickly, it turns into a type of rubber or a plastic because it is actually genetically mutated. So all of those things were happening as an assault against the human body. And what I saw in the change in my patient practice, instead of it being a 10% incidence of uterine fibroids, we're now up to 80, 90%. And the masses that are happening throughout the entire reproductive system cannot be kept up with, such that they're saying 1 in 2 people will have cancer. That is an unacceptable statistic. So I'm here to share with you what my little journey was. When I finally went and got that biopsy done, I ended up on an operating room table, naked, cold, scared, alone, and surrounded by 8 people who were about to cut a piece of my body out. I started to cry. And I threw a prayer up to God that went something like this: Lord, I need you to show me naturally what I need to do to reverse this in my body, because when I leave here, I am never coming back again. I don't see anybody in the Bible that's getting pieces cut out. And if I leave here and, God forbid, develop another lung and it's cancerous, I would rather die with breast cancer than come back and let somebody cut a piece of my body out. But I'll tell everybody that I'm your child, and that's exactly what you wanted to have happen. Amen. Now, that did not happen because you hear me here today. What happened instead is He answered my prayer. That day, I started running into healers, homeopaths, raw foodists, all kinds of natural practitioners who taught me how to create an environment inside the human body in which cancer cells cannot grow. It was based primarily on 2 things. One is the pH scale that we all learned in elementary school, where it goes from 0 to 14. Acid is 0, 14 is the alkaline, 7 is neutral. Most humans are born with 7.35 to 7.45 in pH of all of our tissues, and even the pregnant mom carries that baby in an alkaline 8 to 10 bag of waters, because our Creator made us so that there's no disease that can exist and thrive in a properly balanced alkaline environment. When there was research that was done by a man, Otto Warburg, in 1931, he found that the cancer cause was acidic pH in the human body and low oxygen content. When he took a cancer cell and put it in a high oxygen alkaline environment, it died spontaneously within 4 days. There was no chemo, no radiation, no surgery that was required. So that means that 91 years ago, everyone who participates in the Nobel Prize knew that all you had to do was alkalize and oxygenate the human body, and cancer cells would suffocate in days. So the healers that I met with, the healers that I learned from, taught me how to change by eating things that were primarily alkaline, the fruits, the vegetables, the dark greens, the dark purples, the dark whatever colors, but specifically things like wheatgrass, spirulina, all of the things that I was eating. I even went vegetarian for 4 years. And then the last, ionized antioxidant water that has an electric charge, because then I was drinking dissolved oxygen and dissolved hydrogen. And within 4 months of me adding that last piece of the water to my puzzle, all 17 lumps in my breasts disappeared. I was already lecturing and sharing with people around the world what things that they needed to do, because I had no idea that the things that you bought in the supermarket could actually either kill you or make you healthy. But as I learned, I started sharing that. A woman came up to me and asked me to detox and alkalize her because she had malignant breast cancer. She wasn't going back for any more radiation. We did the same thing at the same time. And within 4 months, that malignant breast cancer was gone as well. So with that information in hand, word got out. And my practice has now changed from primarily OBGYN to primarily stage 3, stage 4, and hospice cancer reversal, because we've got a 100% success rate in reversing any type, any stage of cancer that comes through the door, as long as the people are willing to detox body, soul, and spirit. We have to realize that when you're looking at a person, the physical is not the only thing that is the problem. All disease starts in the unseen realm. So your emotions, the spiritual things that you are going through, that is necessary for you to address as well. I boiled those things down and put it into a book that's called Damn Disease, DAMN Disease, which means detox, alkalize, mentally empower, and nourish disease directly out of your body. It's a lifestyle change that a 14-year-old can and has done, and it has been 100% successful in helping people to take their lives back, because there's no one on this planet that has to die from cancer or that should die from cancer. Scripture talks about how my people perish for lack of knowledge. This information I've placed in a book that went over 25 years of experience, $25,000 worth of education is in that book for you to use, in a book that costs $25 or less on Amazon.com. When you start to do these protocols, your life will change. And as I said, all 17 lumps in my body disappeared. We also had people that came with pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, cancer of the skull. It didn't matter what it was. It's like taking a fish out of water. And that's what I give to you all, to know that you never have to suffer from cancer. And it's as simple as you reading a book and then doing the things that that book tells you to do. And then you'll be able to fire your oncologist because you're cancer free. Now, fast forward just a few other years, because about a year after I got through with getting rid of the lumps in my breast and people were coming and we were doing such wonderful work, we found out that all of the comorbidities, the high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, all those things fall off at the same time that you're detoxing cancer. What a wonderful side effect. But we were not prepared for them sticking a smart meter on the back of my house and a Georgia Power transformer in the front of my house leaking radiation. So I was actually getting radiated and did not know that that was happening. And what happened in my physical body, I started to gain weight. I started to have insomnia 4 or 5 hours. When I picked up my cell phone, it actually hurt my hand and would sometimes cause the entire musculature to just go paralyzed, pain, severe pain. I started having a strange mass grow in my belly, which goes along with what people are calling fibroids. Now, when I had someone come through my home, what they did was not only discover the leaking thing in the front from Georgia Power that had to be fixed, but also get the smart meter off my home. And then also looking in the home, seeing that, did you know that the dirty electricity that's in your house, when your mattress is pushed up against the wall, that thing is circulating toxic electromagnetic frequency into your body all night long. And if you happen to have a ceiling fan over your bed, that's creating a completed circuit that's flying through your reproductive organs, men and women, and causing it to grow abnormally. So that's one of the things that was causing not only a strange mass, but my periods got heavy, becoming something that they called flooding. With that, I prayed again and asked God, what do we do to protect ourselves from not only this toxic EMF, but they were talking about rolling out 5G at the time. Someone had given me a sample of a product that comes out of Korea, that the Korean Atomic Energy Research Institute was using to help reverse cancer in their scientists that were studying gamma radiation at that time. They found the 3 plants that grew in abundance in their country, that when they come together, they actually learn your body. And they go to wherever there is damage or diseased tissue, and they make new red blood cells, new white blood cells to repair, replace, or restore that damaged tissue. When they release it out of the government, out of the royals, to the common people that were like you and me, that said, okay, somebody got sent home with an inoperable tumor. What should they do? They'll take this particular product, but they took it at 3 times the little packet sachet, and they found that when they took 6 packs of that per day, plus their core supporting products, within 1.5 to 6 months, it didn't matter, again, what type of cancer or what stage of cancer they had, these people were declared cancer-free. So I've written one book that's called Damn Disease that tells you a 4-step detox program, how to reverse and prevent cancer from home naturally. Anybody can do it. When I was updating the links 2 years ago, Yah had me write a 4-step detox program that tells you how to reverse and prevent coronavirus using these particular supplements. They're highlighted in the book, Damn Disease 2.0. Anything that can kill cancer can also kill viruses. They'll tell you that there is no cure, but that's not true, because our Yah, our creator, made everything that we needed before he even put us here on this planet in the garden. My people perish for lack of knowledge. All we need to know is who do we need to talk to tell us how do we put these things in the proper combination. The reason I say proper combination is because there was a time at that same time that I was slathering myself with tea tree and lavender and peppermint, hearing that all these things were so healthy. But those things also act as phytoestrogens. So you can overdose yourself on herbs and cause your periods to become heavier, give yourself lumps in the breast, uterine fibroids, prostate enlargement, if it's not in the proper balance. So again, in Damn Disease 2.0, we tell you what things you need to do in order to keep these in balance so that your body heals. That same company also has toothpaste, toothbrush, things that all have herbs, including their sanitary napkins, to help your body heal. And then Damn Disease 2.0 Plus tells you how to do that with ozone, which is the breath of life, that on contact will kill any bacteria, any virus, parasites, and cancer. So with that, I turn this back over to you. I thank you so much for the opportunity to share. My calling is to erase cancer worldwide. It is very much doable if our folks will simply grab this information and share it amongst themselves, because there's nobody who has to fear cancer or think that they will get it and die again. Thank you, Vera, for the time.
Whew. You know what? Every time I hear you speak, I am just blown away, because I know it is so much truth. It is so much light, and it's so much love, and you sharing. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I know that some of it just don't seem like, well, wait a minute. If it was so, we would have known. It would have been on the television. It would have been on the news. Somebody would have told us. Well, you know what? I believe that as we go deeper and deeper and deeper, and as we start holding conversations with grandmama and great grandmama and great and great and great and great, our ancestors already knew. And now in this season, in this time, in this moment, we're just getting a download. We're going to shift a little bit, you all, because the next speaker coming to the stage, I have a tremendous amount of respect for. As a matter of fact, I met her with someone that you're going to hear from later. And when I tell you this guy has a power punch, I met her from Dr. Vincent. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for this lady. She is one that I say, you know what, you may want to mess with somebody, but she's not to be played with, and she's not to be messed with. We call her Chief Smiling Thunder, Chief Kamala from the Indian Nations. Are you there? Can you hear me okay? And will you take the mic, my powerful sister?
I am, and I thank you so very much. Let me say, I am so grateful again for you to have put this program together. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of a quick overview of myself. Born Carla Renee Folsom, of the original Folsom people here on the planet, on the continent, for over 13,000 years. And then to say, I think I had given a brief overview earlier, how my grandfather told me I was black feet, and I looked down at my feet, saw that they weren't black, and started to laugh. And then the look on his face, whom we call Papa, I just never forgot that look on his face. And I just delved into thinking about what did he mean, but I didn't do that until after I had actually graduated high school. So then later, when I would hear, for instance, Dr. Claude Anderson and others speak of the Folsom people, and I saw an archaeologist from a university speak of the original Folsom people, that brought me back to researching it again. And I said, that's me. I always said that's me. So I'm going to go into just a little information and digress from that just a moment. I am here in Michigan Republic, so a lot of my focus is on Michigan. However, I travel across the country and I research across the nation, the various tribes and nations. So I have special affection for the Alabama Kiowa Nation. They have supported Lena coming to Detroit, Michigan, and we have gone there in camaraderie and working together. That is a nation that is on the move. If you are in the Alabama area and you're interested in getting involved with the Alabama Kiowa Nation, I'm sure they will greatly receive you. we're always looking for people who have talents and skills that we might grow faster, stronger, and more able to do the things that we need to do for our nations and government. Across the nation, some of the tribes that you hear about, the familiar ones might be Seminole, Choctaw, Cherokee, Blackfeet, Cheyenne, Pawnee, Paiute. Oh, here in Michigan, the Potawatomi, Ottawa, like that. So you may hear of those. So I just wanted to read something really quickly from the what is it called? My office is I'm losing my train of thought. But anyway, really quickly, I'm just going to read something really fast. It's just like something really brief. And you get this little coloring sheet when you go up to the Capitol in Lansing, Michigan. They give them out to try to teach the youngsters about the beginnings of Michigan. And this particular coloring sheet says the first Michiganians were Indians, living in the territory for thousands of years before the first European explorers appeared. The villages of each of these tribes were a collection of dome-shaped shelters that could easily be moved when firewood or game ran out. Animals were hunted for the food and clothing they provided, and some crops were grown. But the purpose of that, the largest of the Michigan tribes was the Chippewa tribe, also known as the Ojibwa tribe. And I read that just basically to say that, yes, in Michigan, there are so many tribes, and the state, the territory has recognized them. Michigan never became a state. That is one of the things that I've been trying to teach people for many, many years in this area. Michigan never became a state. So because Michigan never became a state, it's not incorporated. In the 1835 Michigan Constitution preamble, it specifically says that the state of Michigan has to be styled a certain way, and that style is upper and lowercase letters, the state of Michigan. And the reason I allude to that is because many of you may realize that if it's in all capital letters, then that would indicate a corporation or that it was incorporated. Michigan was not. That late fiance that I spoke of earlier and his friend went to Washington, D.C. to get information for a court case. They went to the Library of Congress librarian in Washington, D.C. and asked for the charter for the state of Michigan. And the Library of Congress librarian said to them, there is no charter because Michigan never became a state. There's a whole story behind that. But Michigan never became a state. Because Michigan never became a state, Michigan is sovereign. And I know a lot of times they try to use that word to scare people and say, oh, you're sovereign. Well, I'm going to read something briefly from the Senate Resolution 17. This is from the Michigan Senate and signed by the Secretary of State. And it says, this is a resolution to affirm Michigan's sovereignty under the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States over all powers not enumerated and granted to the federal government. Now, you may have to go and grab your Constitution and read Article 10 so that you know what it's stating. Basically just saying that the 10th Amendment provides that powers not granted to the federal government nor prohibited to the states are reserved to the states and to the people. So that would be to the people of that particular state or territory. The 10th Amendment limits the scope of federal power and prescribes that the federal government was created by the states, specifically to be an agent of the states. Currently, the states are treated as agents of the federal government. And what that means is instead of the states saying, this is what we're going to do for our people, the federal government is saying, this is what we want you to do for your people or else. And Michigan has stated, no, you're our agent. You act as, according to this same resolution, it says, whereas all government agencies and their agents and employees operating within the geographic boundaries of the state of Michigan or whose actions have an effect on the inhabitants, lands, or water of Michigan shall operate within the confines of the original intent of the Constitution of the United States or be subject to penalty of law as provided for now or in the future within the Constitution of the state of Michigan, small s, the Michigan statutes, or the common law. This resolution serves as notice and demand to the federal government as Michigan's agent to cease and desist immediately all mandates that are beyond the scope of the federal government's constitutionally delegated powers. So that's basically saying all that the federal government is saying to tell Michigan to do. For instance, the mandate, the mask mandate, we'll just say as an example, they had no jurisdiction. So that, therefore, I know of one sheriff in, I think it was Bay County, but I'm not exactly sure. His name is Sheriff Darleaf. And he was not implementing that mandate. And then subsequently, if you're in the Michigan territory area, you'll know that that mandate was stricken down almost immediately. So while I do spend a lot of time here in Michigan and the Northwestern Territory, I also wanted to share something specific to Indians as we speak about the Constitution, where it says that Article 6, I believe it is, that the Indians are not to be taxed. Well, here's Northwest Ordinance. This is my pet here. I love, love, love this. It says religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. The utmost good faith shall always be observed towards the Indians. Their lands and property shall never be taken from them without their consent. And in their property rights and liberty, they shall never be invaded or disturbed unless in just and lawful wars authorized by Congress. But laws founded in justice and humanity shall from time to time be made for preventing wrongs being done to them and for preserving peace and friendship with them. So that is what we do with the League of Indian Nations and the various Indian nations across the country. We uphold this and remind the government that the good faith is to be shown towards the Indians, not the Native Americans, the Indians. And the significance of that is at the time, this was 1787. In the 1828 Webster's Dictionary, I think is the year, Indian was described or defined as copper-colored people. Copper-colored people. At some point, I think in the 90s or perhaps the 80s, the 1980s or 1990s or somewhere, suddenly there was a merging of the term for Native American to imply that Native American and American Indian was one and the same. That is not the case. It has never been the case. So I reiterate that to say, when you look down, are you copper colored? There's a good likelihood that your parents or grandparents or great grandparents delineated from this landmass here. This landmass that was called Turtle Island. That was it. So I would encourage you. I spoke once before about the genealogy. Find out who you are. It's very, very important that you find out who you are, especially now. It's my comprehension that on birth certificates now, they're not putting a race, as it were, and that's a euphemism, but they're not putting that on there unless you're non-melanated. If you're melanated, nothing goes on the birth certificate. But in the past, it always was. And that gentleman that I spoke with, using that term loosely, earlier, Walter Plecker, his position was registrar of Virginia. And it was he who suddenly stated that you could no longer put Indian on birth certificates. It was also he who said, implemented this Racial Integrity Act of 1924, where he was separating the races, using that quote loosely, and that if there was one drop of indigenous blood, then that person would not be able to be considered or married to a white person, using that term euphemistically.
And
so,
Chief Kamala, I really hate to interrupt you because this is some amazing information. But let me ask you this. Do you have an email or someplace if people want to reach out to you to get more information, to get teaching and coaching? Because I know there's a lot of stuff in the making. How could people reach you? Can you please share that information?
Absolutely. They can reach me at chiefsmilingthunder.mi at gmail.com. That's Chief, CHIEF, Smiling, SMILING, Thunder, THUNDER, .MI at gmail.com.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, this is the Wise Women Winning Summit. This is day 2. Yesterday was a powerful event, and a lot of information was shared on yesterday. If you go to Vera Giles Norris YouTube, Vera Giles Norris, you will have an opportunity to see the full version of yesterday. We had a few hours of jam-packed information, so you'll get a chance to hear Chief Kamala as well as Dr. Goodman speak in full. Darlene, you'll get a chance to hear all of those from yesterday. But our next speaker, when I say to you all, I have a whole lot of respect for this gentleman. I call him my coach. I call him my mentor. I call him my friend. Most importantly, if anything is going wrong, I call him my doctor. This guy I call Energizer Bunny. He takes a licking, but he's always ticking, and he just keeps on ticking and ticking and ticking. He's the reason that I've met some of the most amazing people that I've met here today. As a matter of fact, let me just turn the tables back on me, because I'm the reason he's here on Clubhouse. And it was like pulling teeth to get him here. But now that he's here, and now that he's sharing what he is sharing with people, if you didn't get a pen and a piece of paper out before, if you didn't give it your undivided attention as the other speakers were speaking, I say pause for just a second and hear a man that I seen with my own 2 eyes, that I've witnessed help people that were in pain in other cities and states. I've seen him help them get rid of pain in minutes. I've seen him teach students like myself how to tap your fingers together and speak over people's lives and have them get out of wheelchairs. His name here is Dr. Michael Vincent. Dr. Michael Vincent, are you there, sir? And can you hear me okay?
I hear you well. Thank you, Vera. Just imagine, Vera, when the Lord taught me doing a fast. I'm fasting now from day 11. And everything I do, folks, I got it doing fasting and praying, not from college. When God showed me that disease is not physical, it's 87% emotional and 13% nutritional. Disease. When you have a disease in your body, it's 87% emotional and 13% nutritional. When it's in your body. And disease happens, folks, 7 years in the spiritual realm outside your body before it enters your body. 2 weeks ago, to me, I found a YouTube video that was posted of a team that came from Chicago that interviewed my patients. And he played it on my conference call. And one of the ladies, I think it's on this platform today, she came to me in 1997 for a holistic evaluation. I take no blood test. I do nothing but look at the body. And I told her that your body's telling me that in 5 years, your right eye's going to be compromised. In 5 years. She paid me $333 for that visit, came back 2 days later, and said, all the black doctors in place said, you're a quack. Give me my money back, you're a quack. I said, ma'am, if you're not blind in the right eye in 5 years, come back and find me for a refund plus interest. I didn't see her to the 10-year mark. Came to my home for a meeting, and she didn't know it was my home. When she saw me, she was in shock. She said, Dr. Vincent, I had a tumor behind my right eye on my brain 5 years ago, and the doctor said this is a 10-hour surgery. You could die Tell my family goodbye just in case. When I woke up being told that the tumor was on my optic nerve, and I'm blind for life, I didn't care. I was living. I'm blind in my right eye for life. Blind for 5 years. No optic nerve. Now, we know that the optic nerve controls vision. But I teach epigenetics, folks, above the genes. We had that lady blind for 5 years, seeing in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes. From there, God starts to take me bit by bit by bit. Just imagine when the lady said, knowledge. Knowledge. What knowledge can do. Gratefulness. Knowledge, folks. Gratitude, knowledge. And when God took me from that kindergarten to first grade, we started doing even things like people in prison. I'm still learning, folks. I'm still in first grade. People, when it comes to God, people in prison. Imagine one of your students getting a phone call in the prison called the first of kin, telling the first of kin, her daughter, that her boyfriend, age 29, has COVID-19 on a ventilator and may die. She came upstairs and asked her mother, Robin, who's on with it, if I can help. I said, Robin, I don't know if I can help. We got class tonight. Let's do it in class tonight. And I wonder, why would she ask that question, if I can help her boyfriend? And I remembered that she heard of her mother's best friend's sister-in-law that had a stroke with paralysis for 8.5 years. They had to feed her, bathe her, comb her hair, everything for her, folks. Everything for her. And I gave her one 20-minute treatment. It was gone. Like she never was sick. Gone. That's why she asked her mother. I don't know. That night, I'm an hour away from her, and to a total stranger in prison that I don't know, but they know. I treated her mother for her daughter's boyfriend remotely for COVID-19 over Zoom. It was so violent. It was so violent. So a lady said you gave her exorcism for him and exorcised COVID-19 out of his body. It was violent. So the prison called her the next day. Imagine that same number calling you the next day, telling you that he's dying of COVID-19, and the same number calling you the next day. Imagine how her heart must have been beating and racing. When they answered the phone, they told that we're confused. He's back in his cell like he never was sick. Everybody got God-like powers in your fingers. Your fingers are theropods. God-like powers. I do treatments for people in Dubai, South Africa. I get phone calls from Africa, folks with malaria. I'm going to do this last one, folks, and I'm going to turn it over to the next person. I get a phone call from Flora, who's down below listening, whose brother had the largest thyroid goiter in history. Imagine having a thyroid goiter, which is usually the size of a lemon, the size of a football, covered every organ. Just imagine needing a stomach bypass surgery. A heart bypass surgery. Go in to do the surgery. Couldn't see the heart. You only saw the goiter. Couldn't see the lungs or the stomach. It covered every organ. And just imagine them waking you up, saying this goiter is so big, we can't see the heart. No organ. It covers all the organs. Sign this waiver. We can cut it out, but if you die, you can't sue us. He said, nope. Do the bypass surgery. Did the bypass surgery, and the goiter was there for 13 years. They hired me in California. Total strangers, we never met. He's in Riverside, I'm in Flint, Michigan. They hired me. Whenever I do this called ENOC treatments. ENOC treatments. I need a witness there, just what's going on. The first visit was a benign visit. He went to sleep and shook a little bit. Second visit the same, but the third visit told the wife, I'm in his long bones. And he said, Doc, he's asleep, but he looks angry. He's fighting. Angry, but he's fighting. I said, I'm in his long bones, which holds all memory back 8 generations. I'm in 1836. God shall be bit by bit. I'm looking at his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother at her son hung by the throat, and the white slave masters beneath your husband's thyroid goiter that he got in 2020 for 13 years is attached to the memory in your long bones to 1836. That goiter the size of a football, folks, melted in days. And I met him 18 months later. Days. Anybody can do this, so folks. I'm going to be doing a free treatment, folks, on Tuesday and Wednesday. Contact Vera. Come on board, folks. Anybody can do this, folks. You have the power. It's there waiting for you to release it. Just wave your hands. Release the God within. So, Vera, turn it back to you, Vera. Back to you, Vera.
Wow. You know what, Dr. Vincent? Thank you so much. When I say, ladies and gentlemen, again, that is somebody that I have a lot of respect for, and I see how the Most High God uses him in ways that I can't even put into words. Dr. Vincent, again, it is truly an honor to call you my coach, my mentor, and my friend. The next speaker, you all, when I say the first time I talked to this gentleman, we spent 4 hours on the cell phone speaking. It was so much information. This gentleman, I call a walking, I don't even know if I want to say encyclopedia, because he's just, you know what? He's one of those people that I say knows a little bit about everything. And he gave me so much clarity. He helped me tremendously understand some things that I had been in question about for over 52 years. I think this guy went back to when I was born. And I'm sorry, he went back before I was born and was able to make some things make some sense to me. And I'm not one to put my mouth on people unless I truly mean what I say, because I walk it like I talk it. His name is not ordained for no reason. But I want to give him an opportunity to speak for a moment. As we're here, it is 2022, and you all are here at the right time. The Wise Women Winning 2022 Summit. And our topic is This Too Shall Pass. I want you to go ahead and take a moment and share the room and invite someone in as I turn the stage over for someone else. When I tell you 4 hours of talking to one person nonstop, we had a lot to share. Ordain, are you there, sir?
I'm here. I'm here to laugh because it's a good laugh. I definitely, like I say, I'm a true seeker of knowledge and healing, and I'm just a lover of information. And just how everyone was speaking about different things, even when someone was speaking about the radiation and that. That's why I've gotten into different gemstones and understanding the essence of nature, because a lot of the things that I'm intrigued in or interested in, the normal everyday person would consider this not. I'm a spiritual being. I'm a spiritual man. I grew up in a very religious background, family, Christian. I love the Bible. I love all forms of just religion and getting us all to a higher sense of nature. I'm definitely unorthodox. So when I start to understand how the body corresponds with nature, and nature, of course, corresponds with the body, is learning about the ecliptic and the sun and learning about where, living here in the Northwestern hemisphere. So I started to understand that, speaking of, say, astrology, I know people don't like that term, but speaking of the stars, of celestially, when I started to understand that there are certain flowers, certain colors, certain sounds, certain things that I can do to actually help me become more of a positive and available person to others, because I became more relatable. The more relatable I am to myself, the more relatable I am to you. And I always tell others I am as intelligent as you are. I just have this accessibility of tapping in and unlocking certain things or perspectives that you weren't aware of. So, understanding from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, this energy is very much what circulates through me, and I can do different things that will help me, help the body. Knowing, I've learned even through this understanding. Someone speaking about the feet earlier, magnesium. If you understand, if you have a headache and you just massage the bottom of your feet, it literally will actually assist with you releasing or getting rid of a headache. And I have an understanding of that. The top of your head and the bottom of your feet relates to the constellation of Pisces, and that constellation, it will relate to your feet. So each time of the year, or if you relate it to a particular zodiac sign, it can actually also relate to a certain part of your body. And I learned that through certain individuals that are born, like say if you were born in the sign of Taurus, those people are earthy, and they tend to need massages, or the body tends to be a lot where the pain is held. So some people express or deliver or give out their pain or stress in different ways. And then there's others who aren't able to release their emotional selves, and that pain is left in the body. So sometimes you might not be vocal telling someone or saying what's going on with you, but it will actually hinder itself in the body in certain places. And this is very key, because women tend to, of course, women do talk, but sometimes they hold in a lot of their pains or anguish or things that they wanted to say for years, just there in the body. The body needs to be massaged and taken care of. So I've started to learn different, like I said, I learned different flowers. You can learn if you are a certain sign, you can find a flower that relates to you. You can find a stone or gemstone, a crystal or gemstone that in a sense relates to you. You can find not also find, but these things you can have. You can find, what is this? Cell salts. There's also things called cell salts, which we call them also phosphates. And these phosphates can assist in different parts of the body, because they can also relate to you in the sense of, I'm a Pisces, and I understand the phosphate for Pisces is ferrium of iron, because we tend to lack the circulation of blood, because we sometimes we don't have we suffer from poor circulation, and that poor circulation sometimes can be attained or be around your feet. So that in a sense, I started to understand. I was like, okay, if I'm learning these things, how can I put these in my everyday life? So those are these little things that I started to understand, that a greater blood circulation is needed, particularly melanated people. I started to incorporate more copper, because I also make jewelry. I have a brand called Prima Materia, which I was researching, and I found that there's this understanding of this term in Latin called prima materia, which is the prime mineral, which everyone in this plane is the prime mineral, and the prime mineral gives birth to these five. There's three different type of liquids that give birth to these elements, and those three liquids are salt, sulfur, and mercury. Salt, sulfur, and mercury will give birth to fire, earth, air, and water, and also a fifth element, which is not usually shown, which is the ether or the aether. And those elements we are all, what we're all as individuals made out of. we are the prime minerals, and we all, in a sense, relate to nature. So we can find a lot of natural things that we can take and actually relate to our own selves. So these are the things that I've actually studied over the years. I kind of find people's particular days of the week. Like I was born on a Friday, so I know for a fact and for certain Friday is one of my power days. And Friday is that day of love. It's a day that you get paid on because it's money, because that's a Venetian energy. Friday will relate to the goddess or the planet of Venus. And then I'm a Pisces, so that energy relates to Thursday. And everything I'm speaking and saying is I connect. I have to see if they all connect, because if they don't connect, I kind of feel or see the disconnect, because everything in this plane in this time we live in is in a sense connected, and I use that connection for healing. This is the same way where I had the understanding when I just said about Venus and for Friday and Thursday. It relates to something that is particular, like our thorax, that portion of your chest where your 24 ribs are located, because that term Thor, or when I even said Taurus, all these terms mean to turn, because those 24 ribs, they actually are holding in place all our vital organs. And in that area, it's our shield or our trunk. It's the trunk of your car, or because the human body is a vessel, so it's the trunk. All of our important pieces and essence of ourselves are located right where the thoracic part of our spine is located. And that is also where, in that particular location, that is your toroidal field, which even when this Chronos virus, I call it Chronos virus, coronavirus, it occurred, they told us to stay 6 feet apart. It's for the energy that we emit naturally out of our body, because we are radioactive beings, even though we don't emit the same radiation that some of these things that occur in the world does. But we are just like the periodic table. Just anyone is big in taking sea moss, they already tell you there's 92 of the 102 minerals that you can find in sea moss. So that's already telling you your body has the ability and the accessibility to hone in and create 102 elements already. So that means we have gold, copper, zinc, carbon, hydrogen, everything on on the periodic table within the body. So we are automatically, in a sense, connected, and is nature. So when you start to hone in on yourself, and it will pinpoint you to different places that you can use. Like one of the things that I've done in my healing is understanding the name that I chose to come into this plane with. I chose the name Odane, and I learned that the name Odane means healer. And it really it makes so much sense, because at first, as a young person growing up, I couldn't stand it. I'm like, who names their child Odane? Like, with an O. But now, as I've gotten more experience, more mature, and have an understanding, I always tell people the first step of healing is to find out who you are. Why don't you know the true meaning of your name, the etymology of your name? If you know the vibration that you give to the world, you will know how you present yourself, how others will be able to accept you and approach you. Some of us, a lot of us don't have names that are, very familiar, but even if your name is from a different place, you can still find a meaning. And that's the most beautiful part about it, because you find the meaning of who you are. And that's why I said that healing journey begins there, because you can start with your name, then the day you were born, then you can find a particular number that pertains to you. I like to also ask people, what color do you pertain to? What's your favorite color? Because your favorite color also indicate how you how would you operate throughout this plane. And one point in time, blue was my favorite color. I can understand now, because I was a great speaker. I like to speak, because blue relates to the throat or the sky, because the sky is blue and it's air, and air comes from the throat. So I look at those little aspects of at those little different things, because another term that I'm kind of moving fast. the true healer of man and woman and even nature is sound and color. So that's one of the things. That's why I brought up your name and a color, because your name is a sound. And if you have that understanding of who I am, you can start from there, and then you can go and work on your colors, because different colors bring you different forms of healing. Being able to relax, being able to, if I use the color red, I'm being able to bring in power. Blue is the calm. Green is the heart or healing, because green and that pink, they're both relating to the energy of the heart and love. And then yellow will be saying to be fiery, or actually, what's the can't come in my head, manifestation. So there's different things that you can actually do. You can buy LED lights or color lights that would actually show different colors, because you can research and see what colors are greater for certain emotions and what sounds. You can use sounds. So I'm, telling you different days of the week, learning your name, different colors. I'm trying to be as simple and direct that I can. But if you start, mainly with your name, and then you can go from there. And it's one of the most amazing things, because you can see how far back you can travel with your own name. Because most of us, there's a saying that all of our names are in the Bible. You'll be so amazed that you will find your name in the Bible. You will never believe it until you see it. Because even my own name, being ordained, I learned that it's one of the 72 names. When you go back to Ethiopia, it's one of the names. So that's what I would have to share right now. If you guys have any questions, I'll be able to take them. And thank you.
No, again, thank you, Ordain, and you all, as you can see, that's why we spent 4 hours of talking, because I had questions, he had answers, and then before we knew it, it was just like a full puzzle that was put together. So again, thank you for speaking, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Wise Women Winning 2022 Summit, and you're here at the right time and the right place. And our topic for this year is "This Too Shall Pass." I don't know what's going on, don't know what went on, but one thing that we could all say is that you're either in a situation right now, you are just coming out of a situation, or you're on your way in a situation. But if you don't remember nothing else we say here today, I want you to remember these 3 words: this too. Well, maybe it's 4 words. This too shall pass. Don't throw the towel in. Don't stop breathing. Don't stop pushing. I know she doesn't want to talk about it, so I'm just going to let her sing about it. But the young lady, a good friend of mine, another sister from another mother, she just lost her son in October. And I am witnessing her. Her son was 21 years young, left her with 3 grandchildren. I'm witnessing her push her way through it. Sometimes she has to cry her way through it. Sometimes she laughs her way through it. Sometimes she just sings her way through it. But through it all, God is constantly giving her the air. Every time she opens her mouth to take a breath, God keeps putting air in her lungs and allowing her to breathe through it. I lost my mother on January the 11th of 2019. I'm still pushing through. Some of you have lost a relationship. You're going through a divorce. And you thought that was the love of your life. And you don't know how you're getting past it or through it now. But guess what? You're breathing. Some of you have gotten news from the doctor that said that your life is in jeopardy. It's a terminal illness. Keep breathing. I want to have a selection before we go to our next speaker. And I hope, Leslie, if you could just bless this audience as you all continue to share the room, as you continue to get your questions together, because we're going to open the stage up and have you come up for questions and answers. I see my sister Cynthia, my sassy sister Cynthia is in the room. I'm going to bring her up because I just spoke at her conference, Sassy Sisters. And we got some stuff coming up. I just spoke at her Sassy conference. I see Bam is in the room. And I'm going to bring them up because I need them to speak. So if you got questions and answers, I want you guys to be sure to be able to raise your hand. But for right now, Leslie, I want you to go deep down. Call your ancestors now. Call Big Mama and great grandmama and tell them to give you a song to sing right now. Because I am speaking this life into someone right now. This very song is going to touch your spirit and it's going to bless you. Leslie, the birds have stopped and they waiting to hear you sing. The mic is yours.
Amen. I got a little emotional as you spoke, and I'm feeling a certain type of way today. Just kind of grieving my son lost and everything, and I said I don't think I can speak about it today. But thank you so much for bringing it up, and I just wanted to sing this song, just a snippet of this song, just to encourage. Lord Jesus, I'm talking about I cannot, it's none of me. I move me out the way is all God, and it's the trust in God, and He gives me the strength to get through each day. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I just wanted to sing the snippet of the song is to encourage everyone that's going through anything in your life. We just have to be prepared for the unexpected and prepared for the unknown. But trust God through it all. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to speak victory during the day. No matter how you feel, speak the words and you will be healed. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Amen.
Woo! You know what? If I could sing, I would pick it up right there. And I would sing something, baby. But if I sing right now, everybody in the room gonna leave. So I'm just gonna keep it so low. So low that I cannot be heard. But as she just said, sometimes you got to encourage yourself. You might not be able to phone a friend. You may not be able to reach your mother. You may not be able to reach out to your daddy. Some folks may not be able to understand, overstand, or understand what you're going through. But you got to take a moment, get undressed. Sometimes you got to get naked and just stand in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror and speak a word over your own self. I know it may be hard to do, but once you start doing it, I guarantee you it's going to be so worth it. Encourage yourself. It's 2022, and we're here right now in the Wise Women Winning Summit. And we stopped by today. We stopped by at this very moment to remind you that this too shall pass. Our next speaker, again, as we're wrapping this up, we're going to open the stage and allow you all to have Q&A. I'm not sure if she's available to speak, but even if she's not, I'm going to speak for her because she is my graphic designs person. She is, and we got some stuff going on, you all. I'm not going to throw it all out there right now, but I'm not sure if Inaz is available to speak. I know she got an event going on, so she may not be able to speak. So again, I'm speaking for her. but she's queen right here in the top right corner. And I want to personally thank you, my sister, for always answering the call. I want to thank you, my sister, for being up with me in the midnight hour. We was up the other night at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, putting things together last minute, because sometimes the Most High don't give me a download until the very last moment. And he always has a ram in the bush. And I want to thank my sister, my queen, for being that ram. I want to thank you for taking on a leadership role in my company as the executive graphic design person. And I want to open the stage and invite a few people up. I see Cynthia, my sassy sister, is in the building. I'm inviting you up. I see Bam in the building. I'm inviting you up. And if there's anyone with Q&A, if you got questions, I want to invite you up to as you've heard the speakers, and you may have questions. Please go ahead and raise your hand. I see my sister Butterfly is raising her hand. I want you to raise your hand, and you heard the speakers today. And if you have anything that you would like to ask, now is your time to ask. Miss Cynthia, my sassy sister, are you there? And can you hear me okay?
Rich rising and high vibrations, my beloved Miss Vera. Love you so much. You know, I just know that everything is everything and all things is all things. And, you know, I'm so excited, as I had written in the chat. I'm so super excited about this Wise Women Winning This Too Shall Pass 2022 Summit. You know, again, rich rising and high vibrations to all of the people here under the sound of my voice, whether you're a king, a queen, a god or a goddess or empress or emperor, whoever you are. I just send rich risings to you and high vibrations. You know, Miss Vera, you just doing it. I mean, like, you know, you get it done. You get it done. And that's the power of, you know, speaking and manifesting, right? And that's exactly what Wise Women Winning do. We speak and it manifests. That's why I'm so conscious about what I say when I speak, because I know the power that I have. And so I'm just so humble and honored to have met you on this app, and in the short time that we've communicated and that we've vibed together, it's been nothing but pure what I call synchronization, or sync. Help me with the word. Y'all know what I'm saying. Just the synchronizing of it all, because, you know, it is true. I mean, it is so true for myself, and I speak for myself, but yet I can also speak for others, because I am you and you are me, and we are one, right? And if we be true to thy own self, then we can agree even to disagree. Hey, it's all beautiful though, right? Like, I'm everything and nothing at the same time. What a wonderful revelation, huh? But to whom much is given, much is required, and you did your thing, in spite, and without constellation. So I'm just here to support you in your endeavors, and vice versa. And thank you to Queen and Darlene and Millie, all of you on the stage. Oh, Day, you already know you are my esoteric, cosmic son, right? Like, for real. And just even everyone I heard today, Chief, everyone, you know, I'm here. If there's anything that I can do, Ms. Vera, for any one of your special speakers that are here with you and sharing and empowering and supporting your endeavor, the Cats Out Women Empowerment, let me tell you, I will do likewise, whatever it is. just keep me updated and just, stay connected, because communications is everything, right? And with that said, I'm going to mute my microphone.
My sister, my queen, sister, goddess, empress, whatever we want to call it, my sassy cat. You know what? We're just getting started, and I know that we already know that. So I sat in your conference, which was amazing, and your trainings, which is amazing. And I know that we have, well, you have, and I'm there front and center, some stuff that's taking place in Yonkers, New York, coming up soon. So I just will encourage for us to just keep moving like we've been moving. And yeah, that's as much as I'm gonna say for now. Hey, I see we have Miss Butterfly on the stage. Hey, Miss Butterfly, do you have a question? Is it something you would like to say? Because we would like to hear from you right now. Butterfly, oh, there you go.
Yes, I'm here. Again, thank you. I just happened to be checking my messages, and I saw that I had a message from you, and I was just wondering. I wonder where I was speaking, and you sent me this message. But as my big mother and sister Cynthia said, it's all synchronizing. So now it all makes sense. Thank you again for inviting me to come in this room, and I am overjoyed from the messages that I've heard. And this is something that I repeat often. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I've been on this spiritual journey for the past year, and everything is starting to make sense. I met Dr. Sin Cosmo's room, and we have vibed, and we have spoken on things, and I did the program with her. And some things that Ordained said really hit home. And then to see that you and I, Ms. Vera, we have a connection. This 1/11, I also lost my mom on 1/11, but it was 2017, and the connection with Ordained is when I was younger, my dad was into numerology. So I am of Ghanaian descent, and my middle name Nalamle is spelled in a way that that is not the people would tell me that's not the correct way to spell my name, and I said no. That is the correct way to spell my name. My dad was a numerologist, so he was really into numbers, and he spelled our names in a way that, it equals to numbers that represented he knew who every single one of his children were. And, for me, I was the 12th child for him. And numbers has been a thing for me for a very long time. And, I never understood it, but the older I got, I was like, wait a minute, this is all my dad. This is like a reincarnation of who my father was. I am my father. It makes sense to me. So when Ordained mentioned, the thing with numbers and blue, I said, my God, my God. When I was in Ghana as a child, my report card always said talkative and inquisitive. And blue is my favorite color. So when he said that, I was like, gosh, what a revelation. But lately, Spirit has been telling me not to always speak. And I'm just glad to be in this room. And I just want a deeper understanding of that from Ordained. Thank you. I rest my mic.
Well, Miss Butterfly, we've have had a lot in common since I first met you at our conference a few months ago with Miss Sassy, with Cynthia. We had a lot in common then, so I am not surprised at all. I see we have on the stage. This brother comes with a lot of energy as well. I call him Bam, 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 Bam. So we got Bam on the stage, And I have a lot of projects and different things that I have in play with this brother as well. I know y'all, if you're listening, you're like, she got something in play with everybody. Well, if I don't have anything in play with you, you can't say that, now can you? But the people that I do have something in play with, I'm gonna tell you something. They some of the most amazing people on the planet. And I've put this in the universe a long time ago. I wanted to connect with heads. I wanted to connect with movers and shakers. I wanted to connect with people that walk it like they talk it. Now, my name, just for the sake of conversation, is Vera, Vera. And I believe that my mama and daddy knew what they was doing when they named me as well, because my name means truth. My name means faith. And if I'm not true to it, it's nothing I can do with it. So these people that I've connected with and the people that I am introducing you all to right now, you better believe that I took time and energy to get to know them, to get to see what they could actually bring and how they could actually help people. And I'm using my energy. I'm tapping into my authenticity so that we could work together in order to help you, encourage you, and strengthen you all the same. So again, bam, bam, bam. Are you able?
Let me begin by saying, in the wise women winning, this too shall pass. In 2022, let me start with a quote from James Brown. It's a man's world, but it is nothing without a woman or a girl. I am honored to be here in this room. I am honored to be here sitting next to Butterfly. I am honored to be here, and with Dr. Cindy, we haven't talked in a clubhouse room in a minute. I am honored to be here with Queen Olivia in the listening audience, which I had the pleasure to meet on our BAM tour a couple of months ago in the BAM Mobile. I am honored to be here to speak with and to the truth, Queen Vera. Let that resonate for just a moment. I was raised on 111th Street. Let me say that once again. I was raised on 111th Street. That spiritual connection that we have with the Queen Vera, it's just, let me sing a song to you all. We've only just begun. That's all you're gonna get from the song. We hired Les Brown to be our voice in 2008 when Les Brown got his 5th stent in his heart. For those of you that know heart surgeries, it's a very, very, very fine line between life and death. Most people do not get past 2 stents. Rarely does someone get past 3. It's almost impossible to get past 4. Les Brown has had at least 5. And I was in a room with Les Brown and Queen Vera was there, and her spirit just resonated with me. And I immediately answered the call of the spirit at that moment, and it is documented. There's an Instagram, there's some back channel possibly, but Instagram for sure. And timing is everything. The time wasn't right then, but the time is right now. I'm Brian Franklin, and I approve that message, and I'm done speaking.
Bam, bam, bam. You know what, you all, I am really laughing. We went 12 minutes over. You all, thank you for being here, because listen, we was only supposed to be here for a few hours, but you know what? Again, we ain't operating in our own time, and we're operating in divine time. And then you know what? I threw my watch away a long time ago. Like, what time is it? God time? And I'm operating in it.
It's called Kairos.
It's called Kairos. See, that my sister goes. Say it again for them people on the back of the bus as I'm running to the front, because I was on the back of it too.
We here, time is an illusion, as we know. However, chronologically speaking, we have adapted that system. But it is actually, for me, from this lens, is Kairos, which means we are where we are when we're there, because we're there when we're there, because we'll be there, because we're at the time or at the place that we're supposed to be when we're there. So you may have gone over in the chronological sense of time 12 minutes. However, we're still in every aspect of Kairos, because there is no significant pinpoint that. But that's what I say. And guess what? This was awesome. I'm not going to talk much longer, but I'm going to yield.
You know what? As a matter of fact, when I heard you say that, my sister, I heard my mother on the other side singing, "He's an on-time God. Yes, he is." And that's as much as I'm going to say. So again, the floor is open, ladies and gentlemen, for questions and answers. You've heard from Darlene with the bow effect. You had a chance to meet my sister, Queen. Well, you didn't meet her, but I spoke her to you. My graphic design sister, Miss Inez, Miss Inaz, and we're going to do a lot of things here up and coming right here on the Cats Out Show and Wise Women Winning. So if you're not following, click on the greenhouse at the top of this platform. It's the Cats Out Show. Make sure that you're following the Cats Out Show, because we got a lot of bags that we got a lot of cats that we're going to be letting out the bag, and you don't want to miss not one cat, because that cat, that very cat, can be the cat that you need to get from point A to point Z. You've heard from Miss Millie. Man, Miss Millie is going to, and I've spoken to her. We're going to be doing podcasts. I was on her podcast not too long ago, and we're going to have some of you all that's going to get special interviews right there from her podcast. I want to say it's Bring It. Tell me the name of the podcast again, Miss Millie. What's the name of the podcast? Bring It in the House?
Yeah, Bring It in the House.
Bring It in the House.
That's correct. We spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders, which is the acronym for MEAL. Get your meal. So, I don't know if you guys can hear me, because my connection is kind of breaking in and out. It's kind of spotty, but
Yep, we can hear you. I was multitasking, and I know I'm ready to get my meal. I got my meal, and guess what? We got more meals to get, and we just getting started, and we gonna feed some more people. We coming to the party with 2 fish and 5 barley loaves, and we're gonna feed the multitude. Just that simple.
That's correct. Just that simple. It's been so great being on the show. Thank you so much. I enjoyed hearing from everyone. You know, everyone did a great job, from the chief to O'Dane to Dr. Goodman to Bam, everybody. It's an honor to sit on this platform. Vera, I can't even say enough to say thank you for allowing all of us to speak today.
Yes. And you know what? You just made me think. Now, here's the thing. I have a book collaboration coming up that actually was inspired by my other coach mentor, Les Brown. And it is the Book of Ruth, How to Create New Chapters in Your Life. And most of these speakers that was on the platform today are part of that book project, How to Create New Chapters in Your Life. I'm already an Amazon bestseller times 3. And this book, the Book of Ruth, I already know. I already know this book is going to go some places that eyes haven't seen nor have ears heard. And it's inspired by my coach, my mentor, my friend Les Brown. We sat down for about an hour and 45 minutes, and we outlined this book chapter by chapter. The only thing that we didn't know was who the co-authors was going to be, but we knew that the right people will come in at the right time, and most of them are here on this stage today. So I'm honored to for that. um, Let me say this. We have Gina. Some of you all had an opportunity to hear from Gina. Gina is all about minerals, and she has some more stuff going on. I've talked to Gina a few times. I call her my Jack of Heart sister. And every time I've called Gina, if she didn't answer, she was somewhere dialing me back to soon at least give me a call back. And I appreciate you for that, Gina. Are you still there? There you go.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, Vera. Yes, this has been an amazing 2 days to be a part of this. I am truly, truly grateful. My heart is full from hearing everybody and being able to connect with everybody. This has been a big part of my mission, health, and healing for the last 7 years. My whole life has changed by just getting a simple mineral in my body, the magnesium, teaching people about minerals and the best way to get them into our body, and just hearing from so many people how the products that I created have helped is very soul filling. I know speaking for myself and probably a lot of the other people on the panel, like walking in your purpose, it's very fulfilling to be able to help people, to guide them to heal, to guide them to themselves. It's really what it's about, is really finding yourself and expanding from that. When you can raise your vibration, when you can take care of your body, it really changes everything. And so this has been a beautiful experience. I'm truly grateful. I have Dope Minerals is my company. I created it, founded it out of my kitchen, out of my home. 7 years ago, everything I do is organic and vegan. And the products that I created, everywhere from magnesium infused deodorant and bath bombs to creams and skincare. It's one of the most important minerals for our life, for our health, especially women. We burn through it faster than men, so we tend to be more depleted. We tend to run to the doctor, and then we tend to be prescribed something that actually is a Band-Aid. We've got to get down to the root. We've got to heal ourselves from the inside out so that we can then be a catalyst to others, I feel. Vera is my Jack of Hearts sister. When I met Vera, I'm big into the 52-day playing cards, and astrology and spirituality and alchemy and big transformation. And I know we were guided for a reason, for a purpose, to connect. We are the same vibration. We are the same fixed card. We do everything from our heart. So it feels good to be aligned with people that, resonate to that vibration of helping and healing others. So thank you for this opportunity to be here. I am honored. I am grateful. And this has been a true blessing. So thank you.
Thank you as well, my Jack of Hearts sister. And next, you've heard from Dr. Goodman. Powerhouse. Dr. Goodman, are you there? And can you give us some closing words, please?
I am here, and thank you again so much. This was a magnificent opportunity to be able to be fed. And yes, when the student is ready, the teachers will appear. I'm so grateful that all of you are my teachers, and I'm growing. And if I leave you with anything, it will be, please be in a position where you're open to grow and go to your next level, because had I been in a position where I said Cornell Ivy League is my it, I would probably have had biopsy number 1, 2, 3, 4, chemo, radiation, and all kinds of things, because there are things that they're teaching us, and even a few words that I had with Vera earlier today about the Tell Live vision and the programming that they're doing. They're trying to take us away from the sovereignty which is in each one of us. Yah made us in his image and likeness, and we can heal ourselves if we're simply open to growing and learning. But remember, he made us come in this world as babies that know nothing, clean slate, and let us grow from nothing up. So there's never a time when any of us, and I speak for myself, when I will be at a place where I say I got it. That's how I went from educated in the Ivy League and having a lump to saying, let me get on my knees and talk to the one who made the body. And you show me how to do the things in the Bible where I don't have to let people cut parts of me off. And he did. And then when I was so grateful about that 100% success rate in reversing cancer and the chronic diseases that come along with it, my heart said, well, what do I do to do it faster for the people who maybe won't want to do a full lifestyle change, your baths, your enemas, your other things, or who can't do a full lifestyle change? And how do we protect ourselves from this new threat of radiation, where they try and tell you, no, your cell phone's not really causing that cell phone shaped tumor on the right side of your head when you're right-handed and the left side of your head when you're left-handed. And patients that came through my office that carried pagers on their right, that's where the tumor was in their uterus on the right. If they carried it on the left, the ovarian cyst was on the left. Consistently, they've told us these things do not matter. And someone mentioned even yesterday about how the microwave has on it in the instructions, pregnant women do not stand in front of this thing while it's on. And when I saw that as an OBGYN, I said, well, wait a minute, why can't they stand? If they can't stand in front of it, I don't want to stand in front. What's leaking that you're not telling us about? So all of this EMF that is causing us to be sicker and sicker, it took me to the next product, the next system of things that come out of Korea, that now radiation is not a threat. It's not a scary thing. And as I got that and people were able to purchase that product, and you'll see my sites that you can get this information, and you can even go to vincentclinic.com, because that takes me to the third level before I'm getting to Vera, who's my fourth level. I met this man, Dr. Vincent, who spoke. I was praying and asking y'all, what do we do? What do I do? So that I can go from weeks or months to seconds and minutes of healing people, because that's what I see in the Bible. Jesus Christ didn't have people laying in front of them coming back for a week. And that's not bad to have 100% success rate reversing cancer with somebody in a couple of weeks to a couple of months. That's fabulous. I'm grateful, but I wanted more. And I just happened to come across a class where he was talking about how he had released the 12-year frozen shoulder in less than 5 minutes. And you heard the other testimonial. So I immediately said, where are you? Who are you? And when can I train with you? So now I'm in classes with him as well and learning how to reverse everything, like he said, in a day or in minutes. And my life is so full. I'm so excited about what things we're going to be able to do, even on this XOD network, and teaching people how to stop diabetic neuropathy so you keep your body parts for $1.44. And then we're watching people reverse erectile dysfunction and urine incontinence in days. A 92-year-old woman took the product that we have in Damn Disease 2.0 from Korea. She had dementia, and with one packet, her mind came back. So we're in a place that miracles are happening faster. We're in a place where if your heart, your mind is open, and yes, you're willing to be naked and unashamed and just come before God and do the ugly. I might get some snot on my face while I'm worshiping, and thank you, Leslie, for ushering us in every time. But we have to be in a place where we're willing to recognize, I don't know anything yet. And if Dr. Vincent says he's in first grade, I feel like I am a toddler. And even swaddling clothes, I'm so grateful to be amongst these magnificent minds, and then being brought to my fourth level with Vera, who does nothing but pour into you the wonderful power that she sees that God has given to you, to remind you, oh, be encouraged. Oh, be encouraged. Oh, be encouraged. Run in your lane, you got it. This is the best Sunday that I have ever had, and I know that it will do nothing but get better and better. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity. So I tell you again, to get the products that we're talking about that give you all of the colors of all of the fruits and the vegetables, so that your cells that actually have light receptors on them and can tell when you're eating blue and purple foods. It can tell when you're eating your green foods, your orange, your red foods. Your bacteria has sense like that from God Almighty. How magnificent is that? Go to vincentclinic.com, click on the products, get that, and please know I am here to coach anybody through any one of the books, through Damn Disease, DAMNDIZEAZE.com. I am here to learn, and I am here to run and flourish with you all. Thank you so much for considering me to be a part of your quorum, a part of your tribe, and a part of your learning group. Thank you, Vera, and thank you everyone else on this platform.
Vera, I would like to say something.
Yes, go ahead, because I was about to say, and their hands go up and they stay there, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just figuring this out. This is my first time on Clubhouse, so everybody forgive me.
That's
I just
okay.
want to say that I have a serious illness, which is I have serious arthritis. And sometimes...
Wait a minute. You know what? Hold on, Denise, because let me be obedient to the spirit, because before you were about to speak, I was getting ready to do something. So before you even get that out, watch this. Watch where I'm getting ready to go. Just stay with me, right?
Okay.
The next person that's coming to the stage is actually Dr. Vincent, but I'm going to do something different. See, it's amazing when you are obedient to the Most High. He always connects the dots. He, she, it, whatever you want to call it. And what I was going to do is I was going to say, I know that it's somebody in the audience. You're dealing with some type of pain. You got some type of issue or something going on with you. And rather than me just allow Dr. Vincent to speak, I'm going to have him walk it like he talk it. Walk it. Ooh, walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. And guess what? I think that Denise, because even as you were about to speak about some arthritis or something that's going on, I am going to ask you, my sister, do you have any pain going on with you right now as we're speaking?
No, ma'am.
You don't have any. Okay. So that's good, because we don't want you to be in pain. But if you had pain, guess what I was going to do? I was going to have Dr. Vincent do what he do to make sure that you did not have the pain, right? But hold your horse. I want to find out, is it anybody in the audience? Is it anybody that has pain? You're dealing with pain. I don't care if it's pain in your knee, pain in your shoulder. I don't care where the pain is at. Do you have any pain? If there's anyone in the audience with pain right now, the first one to raise their hand, I'm going to give you a chance to come up. Okay, I see somebody raise their hand. Let's see if it's somebody that's dealing with pain. And if so, I'm going to give them a chance to come up, and we're going to put Dr. Vincent in form. Okay, I just invited you up. Not sure what's happening. Okay, so if there's anyone else, because I'm just trying to let someone up. Is there anybody on stage? Is there anybody that has pain anywhere right now? If so, Butterfly, you got pain somewhere?
Yes, my lower back.
Okay, Dr. Michael Vincent.
My lower back also.
Okay. So we're gonna do these two. So wait, Dr. Vincent, we're gonna do Butterfly. Hold on. How many lower back pain?
Go ahead and do me too.
What?
Yes, I don't have it. Yes.
I definitely have it occasionally, so yeah.
So I want to deal. Hold on one second, Dr. Vincent. I want to deal with people that are experiencing pain right now. So how many people do we have that's experiencing pain right at this moment? Who just said me? Butterfly?
Millie.
Okay, so we got Millie, we got Butterfly, and then we got Dr. Cynthia. Are you dealing with pain right now?
Correct. I have pain. Yes, I do. From cervical and lumbar. Correct.
Okay, so we're gonna go with Butterfly, then we're gonna go with Cynthia, and then we're gonna go with Millie, and that's the order we're gonna go in before we go to our next speaker.
You know what, Vera? If they all got back pain, low back pain, that's all at the same time. You just have each one give you a number.
Perfect. Okay, that's why you're the doctor. Okay, go ahead.
My number is always and forever number 9.
Okay, wow.
Say forever.
Oh, okay. Who else got pain?
Millie. For me.
Millie? Is it back pain?
Yes.
What number is it?
Mine is like a 5.
Okay, who else got back pain?
Me, I was there.
Give me a number. I can hear you.
7.
Okay, now, Dr. Goodman and I will be doing videos for the XOD network starting next week. The lady with arthritis, it'll cost you $5. I'm sorry, $9.99 for arthritis. Anything else will be $5 on the XOD network, which we'll have our own network, Vera. Probably about, well, we got to have it up by August.
Well, wait a minute, Dr. Vincent, because I don't want to put the horse before the cart. Because right now we're going to do it under the Cats Out network, right? Okay. And so we're going to do the same treatment right here on the Cats Out network. We don't. Okay.
I see what.
Okay. So let's do this. So we got 9, we got 7, and what else do we have?
5. Everybody that has back pain. Now I'm gonna do this a little bit differently, Bill, because I'm still learning. Remember, I'm in kindergarten. Take your right hand and make a fist with your thumb going upward, and tap the top of your sternum underneath your neck, your thymus gland. Start. Make a fist and tap it. Everybody should be tapping it. While you tap it, say low back pain in your number. If it's a 9, 7, or 5, while you tap it, say low back pain at a 9 or 5 or 7. Say low back pain at a whatever. Tap it. Low back pain at a number again. And say fear in my bladder, like afraid. Say fear in my bladder while you tap that sternum, thymus gland. Say low back pain at your number. Fear in my bladder. Lack support in my life. I'm ready. Stand up and move forward with my life. Stop. Cynthia pain was a 9. What is it now, Cynthia? Your pain. Give me a number.
I'm gonna just say this. When you said number, were you referring to the 1 to 10? Yeah. Oh no, my pain is not 9.
What is it?
That's my favorite number. 9.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you were asking us just to choose the number. So I stand corrected. So as far as the pain in my back, it's like a 6.5.
Okay.
6.5, maybe, yes. 6.5, 6 to 7.
Okay, now, somebody had a 7. What is it now? And a 5. What is it now?
Okay, mine was a 5. I don't feel anything right now. Seriously.
0. Now, the person who was had pain.
That was Butterfly.
I am at a number 5.
Where were you at?
I was at a 7.
Now, Butterfly and
Cynthia.
Take your right hand and put it on the bottom of your neck, the back part of your neck, please. The back part of your neck, and start to tap.
Which hand am I using, sir? Be specific, please.
Okay.
Now, the right hand is the most powerful vibration on the universe. Is the right thumb. So all tell you use the right hand you can. Okay. So use the right hand and tap the bottom of your neck. And say remaining low back pain in your number while you tap. Start tapping. Remaining low back pain in your number. Due to fear in my bladder. Due to lack of support in my life. Now we got to vibrate. The word is Y-A-H. Yes, apple hat. Say yeah while you tap. Yeah. Okay, stop. What's the pain level now? What's the pain level now?
Butterfly and Cynthia.
It's reduced. It's reduced.
To what number? Which numbers?
I would say a 3.
Okay, how about who had pain? Butterfly or Cynthia?
It started at 7, and then it moved to a 5, and now it's at a 3.
Okay, now tap again. The bottom of the neck. Say remaining low back pain at a 3. due to fear in my bladder, due to my needing more support in my life. Now the next vibration is H-E-H, hat, apple hat. Vibrate the ball, say, ha. Okay, stop. What is it now? What is it now?
Mine is at a 5.
A 5? It went up.
No,
No.
I was at a.
No, that's Cynthia speaking. That's Dr. Cynthia.
Okay, I'm lost. Okay, we had 2 3s, now we have a 5. So who's the 5? How are the 3s doing?
Butterfly was at a 3. Cynthia, Dr. Cynthia, at first she was mistaken and said 9 because that's her favorite number, but she was around a 6.5 and a 7. And so she's went down to the what the current number. I think she said 5. And Butterfly, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
I said I'm at a 2.
Okay, now take your hand, put it on your neck, and swipe downward, and say yeah. Swipe it off some lint. Say yeah. Keep swiping. Yeah. Okay, now what is it now?
I'll say a 1.
How about Cynthia?
I would say a 3.
Now, the next vibration is H-E-H. Swipe downward. Say ha. What is it now?
I would say a 1.
Okay. Now the next vibration, now ha, ya, ha, vav, is Jehovah in an ancient Aramaic language. So now the next vibration is victory, apple, victory, V-A-V, pat the bottom of the neck, and say vav. Give me a number.
Thank you.
Thank you what? Is it a 1 or 0? What is it?
Yeah. It's a 0 at this point.
And there's a thing here.
What about Butterfly? I haven't heard from Butterfly. Butterfly, where are you at on the pain chart? If you're speaking, we can't hear you. So now we can't hear you if you're speaking. Cynthia, Dr. Cynthia went from a 7 to 0, and Mills, you went from a 5 to a 0. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, I had myself muted. Yeah.
Now here's my question for them, Dr. Vincent. Have you can't even take an Advil or a pain medicine and get rid of back pain that fast? And Dr. Vincent, can you explain to them what you just showed them and why you are the pain gone in minutes, doctor?
And it's the thing here now, not just this pain, folks. If you can get the body back in true B flat. Now, if you were to play a B flat on a piano, that's not the true B flat. Back in the 14 to 1500s, the Vatican changed the tone B flat that you know now, the old true B flat, to the false B flat. Now, the body vibrates at true B flat. everything together comes to Troopy Flat. Because the nuns were going to the Catholic hospitals, singing songs in Troopy Flat. Kids with curable diseases were being healed, and they changed it. So now, if you can remove the thought, for instance, Dr. Goodman mentioned the lady had a frozen shoulder for 12 years. Frozen for 12 years. And the day that I found out it was frozen for 12 years, I didn't know it was frozen because she had another condition. For 3 years, it was gone in less than 30 seconds. And months later, she said, I got a frozen shoulder. Do you? And that day, we had an MD there that day. We had an OT there. That's her job, frozen shoulders, and a pharmacist. He said, I had an accident in 2008, and I had a fractured clavicle. I only put my hand in my pocket. I had 8 months of PT, and it got to 90 degrees, and maximum benefit. And they told her it was stuck for life. I asked her a question. Do you want to unlock it? If she said no, I would have kept going. She said yes. It was unlocked in 3 minutes. Full range of motion, no pain, nothing. Because if you know the emotion, it can just go away. I've seen this with the blindness, with vision. I've seen this with a person that Vera met in Bolingbrook, the lady with the cancer of the pancreas, who lost 5 family members to that cancer. In 33 days, and they found nothing.
And that was at a summit that we did here. We had 2 summits back to back right here in Bolingbrook, Illinois. And for those of you all, our next summit is going to be in July. We're going to be back in Bolingbrook, and the doctors will be in the building. Motivational speakers will be in the building. And I want to do this, Dr. Vincent, because Denise, which happens to be one of our sponsors for today, she's also not just for herself, but she even got it for a friend of hers that's going to be a part of the Book of Ruth, how to create new chapters in your life. Denise is also an actress, and she's been in, I want her to tell about the movies that she's been in and Netflix and everything else she has going on. But she had a question about arthritis. And Denise, I'm going to say this. I'm going to make sure that I connect you with Dr. Michael Vincent. I'm going to make sure that if there's Dr. Goodman or whatever, whoever you need to connect with, just because you're one of my sponsors and you connected with me, I'm going to connect the sponsors with the sponsors so that we can make sure that you get the help that you need. But go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes, well, I have stiffness more than pain. I have a lot of stiffness and swelling. So I don't really have. Sir, is it stiffness right now? Yeah, I have stiffness right now. Okay, where's it at? In my knees, both knees. I tell you what, rate the stiffness from 0 to 10. I'll say about a 5. Okay, we're doing the right knee right now only. Take your right hand and put it on your left elbow, the bony part of your left elbow, your right hand. Okay. And start patting it. Pat, pat, pat. Don't stop patting it. You repeat after me. Right knee stiffness at a 5. You gotta say that while you. Oh, right knee stiffness out of 5. I gotta keep saying that.
Yeah. While you're patting, repeat after him while you're patting.
Right knee stiffness out of 5. Right knee stiffness out of 5. Due to fear in my kidney. Due to fear in my kidney. I must stand up to him. 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 And I can move forward with my life. And I can move forward with my life. What is it now? The stiffness was a 5. What is it now? The right knee only. What is it? Okay, I'll say about 2. No. Yeah, I will again say yeah. Again, yeah. What's the stiffness now? It does feel like it's
it's going down.
I need a number.
Probably out of
numbers.
1.
Now, take your right hand and swipe back up and down on that left elbow.
Okay.
Up and down, and say remaining stiffness out of 1.
And say what?
Remaining stiffness out of 1.
Remaining stiffness out of 1.
Move my right knee joint back in place.
Move my right knee joint back in place.
My femur.
My femur.
My patella.
My patella?
My patella.
Patella. Okay, my patella.
And tibia.
And tibia.
What is it now? What's the difference now?
It's still out of 1. It's getting.
No, I like zeros. Now let's
You like zero?
Tap it. Say yeah. 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 Okay, what is it now?
Now this supposed to be the left, under the left, ain't it?
Yeah. What is it now?
It's still out of 1. I'm gonna say.
Okay, now. Are you doing the right knee, right?
Yes, the right knee.
And you tapping the left elbow?
Yes. Okay, let me
Do
see.
me a favor.
Maybe I wasn't tapping the elbow. I tapped the arm. Under the arm.
No, the elbow. The elbow.
Okay, that's where I'm messing up.
Okay, tap the elbow. Say
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. What is it now?
It's still a 1. It's still 1.
No, that's the water element. Maybe the body lacks water. That's the
Okay.
Now how's the left knee? Stiffness.
The left knee is still. It's out of 5. Yes, still.
Take your left hand and put it on the right elbow. Okay. And tap. Say remaining. No. Say left knee stiffness out of 5.
Left knee stiffness out of 5.
Do the fear in my kidneys.
Do the fury of my kidneys.
Do the fear in my kidneys.
Do the fear in my kidneys.
I need to stand up for myself.
I need to stand up for myself.
Then move forward with my life.
And move forward with my life.
What is it now? The stiffness now.
Okay. It's about a 1.
Tap again. Say yeah. Yeah. What is it now?
I'll say it's still out of 1.
Now, let's do something different. Take your right hand and tap right the top of the middle of your spine, the front part, your sternum, right beneath your neck, the very top. Take your right hand and tap there. Say yeah, yeah. What is it now? What's the stiffness now?
It's still out of 1. It's
Okay, now let's try. I like zero. Let's try. Take your hand, right hand, and tap the front, right in front of your right ear on your right jaw. Okay. Say yeah. Yeah. What is it now?
It feel like it's getting there. I'll say.
Oh, okay, now. Tap there
0.5.
again. Tap there again. Say ha. From the right jaw. Ha. Ha. What is it now?
It's still out of 0.5. Like I
Okay,
said, it might be water.
No, hold up. Let's do one last thing. tap the front part of your left ear, and the word is VAB, Fab. Fab.
Okay, tap one and say the left.
The front part of your left ear. Say Fab. Fab. Okay, what is it now?
I'm still at a 0.5. I'm still.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me ask a question. You went back up to it because I thought you went down to a 1. Are you back to the 4 or 5, back to the stiffness?
No. That's at 0.5.
0.5, half the 1.
Oh, 0.5. Oh my goodness. Okay, no.
Let's do one more thing.
Okay.
I think he has a closed ileocecal valve. Take your right hand, open it up, and tap right beside your navel on your right side, on the skin, right where your navel is at, but come to the side of that navel and tap. Say, ya. Okay, what is it now? What's the number now?
Now, what's that supposed to be on the left knee?
No. You tapping, you go to your side. Put your right hand over the navel, okay? Flat on your navel, your right hand, okay? Over your navel. Now, come off your navel to the right, a whole hand lift. To the right, on your right side there, okay? Of the navel, okay?
Yeah, okay, that's where I'm at.
Tap, say, ya. Ya. Okay, stop. Okay, what is it now? What's the pain now?
Yeah, it's still. It's gonna be still there.
You know what? I think your body likes water because your water element is the kidney, is the water element. Okay. Now.
But let's let the record show, Dr. Vincent, because I know you like 0 because that's how you roll. I get it. We'll do a special call privately. But Dr. Vincent, we had Millie, we had Cynthia, Dr. Cynthia, we had Miss Butterfly, and we got some more people on the stage that came here with back pain at the Wise Women Winning Conference, had no idea that they would get rid of pain. And we're talking about this too shall pass. And we're helping people pass pain on the stage and stiffness. Even the Sister Denise had stiffness in both of her knees at a 5, and now she's down to a 0.5. Can somebody say amen, hey man, or something?
And just for the record, I go to PT twice a week, physical therapy, okay? And so I thank you for this exercise, and I will continue to practice this when and if the pain tries to re-emerge. Thank you.
I have a quick question. Do you guys have anything for mental health and issues? Because so many people, especially the younger people, they suffer with anxiety. Is there anything natural that you can help the younger generation with anxiety?
That's a great question.
Especially at a venue that I frequent. Now what was the question now? What was the question?
It was about mental health.
You know what? I get a lot of people. I had a clinic in Detroit, and I had a lady that used to be in his institution half the month for 10 years. Each year. I mean, half the year for 10 years, 6 months out of the year, she was there. Came to our office, and we got her body back in balance. The tailbone, the coccyx bone. The coccyx bone is the body's guidance system. We put that back in place. On the
What bone is that, doctor? What bone
coccyx.
is that?
COCCYX bone. We put that back in place, and then also gave us some good nutrition. And about 2 years later, this black doctor came in and said, "I'm Dr. So-and-so. I run this institution." I said, "How can I help you, sir?" So-and-so's my patient, and she's been a patient of mine for the last 10 years. 6 months out of the year, I haven't seen her in 2 years. What are you doing? I said, if I teach you, doctor, you'll lose your job. He said, yes, I will. Yes, I will.
And you know what, Dr. Vincent, I'm not going to tell them that people like Nelson Mandela, you know, and their tribe. Well, you know what? I'm not going to give all of the information out on this platform today, but Dr. Michael Vincent is not anybody, as well as the other speakers. None of these folks I know anybody's on this stage. But here's what I want to do, Dr. Vincent, because I have 3 children and 4 grandchildren that's ready to go to the amusement park. So I want to give Sharon, that's on stage with us, an opportunity to speak. She's been patiently waiting. Sharon, are you there, ma'am? If you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Go to the right-hand side. There you go. Go ahead with your question or comment, Sharon. I wanted to get you in. I know you've been waiting for a while. Miss Sharon, if you're speaking, I cannot hear you.
She may be in the. Miss Sharon, just hit your mic. You know, your mute. Unmute yourself. Okay, there you go. Can you speak? Because we can't hear you. You might have to go out and come back in.
Or if you could text, maybe you could. Okay, did she go out and come back in? Okay, we'll wait for her. I'm next. Okay, Sharon, I see you. You're back. Let's see if you can speak now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, greetings. Thank you. I was just, my pain was like in my neck, like on my right shoulder, up to like the center of my neck. And that kind of, that's where I'm kind of feeling a little intense.
How bad is it? How bad is it?
It's a 7.
In your neck area?
Yes.
Take your right hand and put it on your lower back, please. On your lower back.
On my lower back, okay.
And start patting your lower back constantly. Pat, pat, pat. And repeat what I say while you pat, okay? Okay. Neck pain at a 7.
Tonight pain at a 7.
Neck pain at a 7.
Neck pain at a 7.
Due to fear in my kidneys.
Due to fear in my kidneys.
The weight of the world on my shoulders.
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 Neck pain at a 7.
Neck pain at a 7.
Stop. What is it now?
Okay. I'm moving. It is okay. Okay. 3.
Let's tap it again. The low back, the remaining neck pain at a 3.
Remaining neck pain at a 3.
Due to fear in my kidneys.
Due to fear in my kidneys.
The weight of the world on my shoulders.
The weight of the world on my shoulders.
I say, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, stop. What is it now?
It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. It is gone.
Now keep in mind, my background is physical therapy and chiropractic. And my 6-year-old niece, and I would do with pain with this technique that I could in physical therapy as a chiropractor. My 6-year-old great niece can.
Oh my God.
Are you happy?
I am. I'm in tears. I'm sorry because I'm at work right now, and I do security, and I have to turn. I was turning around. I was like, oh, let me get somewhere where I can just look and not turn as much because it was hurting. But now I can turn completely around. I'm looking around. Oh my God.
Let the church say amen or hey man or something. Holla at your girl.
Everybody underneath listening folks are my students.
Oh my God.
In the audience pretty much could have done this for you. You know that? Are my students. In a minute or two.
Okay, well, so with that being said, make sure that you stay connected. We're going to give the next person an opportunity to come up here. That's Miss Porter. Miss Porter, are you there? And can you unmute with your question or comment, please? Is that Carol? CP, are you there? I look like you're probably new. If you're there, you can hit your bottom right to unmute yourself on the mic. Are you? There you go.
I found it. Hi, this is Carol.
Hi, Carol. We hear you fine. How can we help you and serve you today?
I know this voice.
No. Hi, Dr. Vincent. I was trying to tap in earlier just to give a little testimony that Dr. Vincent, I am so thankful to have met him. He helped my daughter-in-law get rid of some excruciating pain after surgery, and also the techniques that he taught in pain. I haven't taken all of his classes, but the little that I have taken, I was able to use it on my patients. So I just wanted to say that my daughter-in-law had surgery under her right arm due to 2 very large abscesses. And she was given Vicodin, also Percocet. But it wasn't helping the pain. I went to see her to change the dressing. And she wouldn't let me touch it because the pain was above a 10. I looked at the clock and saw that Dr. Vincent's conference call was still on. So I said, would you allow me to call and tell him what's going on? She said, yes. And so, because I said, we have to cover this area, this open area. It was a big amount of tissue that they removed. So I called Dr. Vincent. I told him what was going on. And he walked us through the tapping technique for her to get rid of the pain, which is it was more than a 10. I couldn't touch her to redress it, but we couldn't leave it open. So it went from a 10 to a 7. I can put the dressing on. As soon as I started to touch it, actually I put saline on it. She screamed so loud because of the pain. Dr. Vincent said, what happened? And he said, no, don't touch it. Walked her through it again, and there was no pain. So she's looking at me in shock, and I'm saying, what happened? What happened? She said, I feel nothing. And I said, give us a number. What happened? She said, I feel nothing. I said, what? She said, I feel nothing. And I was able to close the area, the dressing, apply the clean dressing. And let me tell you, prior to that, she couldn't put her arm down. So once Dr. Vincent walked us through this technique, the pain was gone. She never had to take the pain medications again. And she was able to put her arm down. That wound eventually healed, and she never had to take pain medication because we use the tapping technique. And that's my first-hand testimony I wanted to give. So the pain classes that Dr. Vincent gives really, really do work. And it was maybe 5 minutes, if that much. It seemed longer at the time, but it was maybe 5 minutes walking her through it. That's what I have to say.
Well, thank you. And good to hear your voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vincent. Thank you, Vera, for all the information you're giving in this platform today. It's a lot of information.
Nope.
And Vera.
Yes,
Vera,
yes, sir, Dr. Vincent.
when I come out the Boulderbrook, I want some black eyed peas, some greens, and hot water cornbread, okay?
All right, we're going to go to Mandy's and we're going to get some. So consider it done. As a matter of fact, we're going to host our event there because I want to give a warm shout out to the sponsors who made this weekend possible. And I'm going to start off with you, Dr. Michael Vincent, with being one of the top sponsors for this event. I appreciate you. And I know we got a long road ahead of us. Dr. Goodman, thank you. Chief Kamala, thank you. Darlene, thank you. Miss Denise, thank you. as well as Mandy's, and she's not on here now. She was like, Vera, it is no way I could be on today. It's one of the busiest days, but she's a business here in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and we're going to have great events there. I want to thank Mayor Mary, as well as Mayor Roger Clare, Phil from Buddy Bear Car Wash, and I could name some more. My mentor, my friend, my coach, Mr. Les Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 2022 Wise Women Winning Summit, and it has been an amazing weekend. We're sharing on YouTube, so I want all of you to take a moment to go to my YouTube channel. It's Vera Giles Norris. It's my name, Vera Giles Norris on YouTube. And I want you to
I've been there. Sorry.
you've been there. And I want you to follow me on YouTube. I want you to go to Facebook. I want you to follow me there under the same name, Vera Giles Norris. Because a part of the proceeds that was taken in on today is going to my platform, Missing Please Come Home Global Alert, where we have over 30,000 people that is connected to our mission. And in that group, we help find missing women and children. It's an alarming amount of women and children that are missing. And they're not getting the media attention that they so deserve, especially from the African American, the brown, melanated descendants. Category. They're not getting the media attention that they so deserve. So what we do is we sound the trumpet. We use our media platform, our podcast. I've connected with other influencers. Right now, our reach is a little bit over 3 billion people, hitting 4 billion people by connecting our networks. This broadcast here from today, from yesterday, it's going to be served and played from several different networks. We could do more together than we can ever do apart. So again, make sure that you're following me on those platforms. Make sure that you share the information. I have to bring this to a close, because if not, between my children and my grandchildren, I'm probably going to get beat up on this day. And it's been a great day, and I don't want to get beat up by these children because I'm going to have to hurt them. But I am honored. I am pleased to have all of you all that stayed with us today. Be sure again to follow the Cats Out Show. And the reason that we say follow us, because KATS, we stands for Kingdom All Time Seekers. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and everything else will be added unto thee. So follow the room. We're letting the cats out the bag. And this room, I am going to close it in at least 3 seconds. So for those of you all that's in the chats, and if you would hit the chat button, and if you could say something nice, something to encourage someone, use your chat time right now to just chat something. Also, if you go onto the YouTube page and you see us on YouTube, give us a comment right there on YouTube and tell us how you enjoyed yourself. Tell us what you experienced today. And then Facebook, Instagram, Vera Giles Norris. It's official, you all. I did it like only Vera Giles Norris could. As a matter of fact, I did it like only Vera Giles Norris would. I have officially just let the cat out the bag. And guess what? To God be the glory is how I start and end my story. Thank you all. This room is officially over.